So the solution for this example, the first problem we have is that the escalation dates have been set up including the full date, 1st of August 2009. This will be fine for here, but what happens over here when we hit August 2010? So what we need to do is extract out of this date what month are we referring to. So the function to use here is the function called month, and all we do is I point at a date and we work out what month is referred to in this date. Now we have got these dates here, but again they have their years, so we need to extract a helper column or helper row so that we know that date, what month does it refer to. So again, use the month function, point here, so it tells us what month this is, and I'm going to copy it all the way across. Now we need to build a formula that will check and compare that month to that month there, because we lease one, and if it's the same, it then needs to take this prior rental amount and multiply it or add 10% to it. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use an if function. So I'm going to go and find my if function, and what we're going to tell Excel is check if that cell over there is equal to that cell over there. Because we know we're going to copy it, we need to put some dollar signs on. So this one here, we know it must go left and right, but it must never go up or down. So it means we need a dollar sign in front of the 17. And this one over here, the E5, we know that as we copy it across, it should keep looking in column E. But if we copy down, it can drop down the rows. So we put a dollar sign in front of the E. If it's true that this month matches that month, what must it do? Well, it must look at the previous month's amount of rental and multiply it by 1 plus whatever we've got recorded here. Close the bracket. We've got to be careful here. If I copy it across like this, when I copy it here, that 10% is suddenly going to look there. So I need the dollar sign to be on the D. The 5, when I copy down, I'm happy that it'll move down. If it's false, so if that 8 doesn't match that 8, then all I wanted to do is to collect the prior month's rental. So when I say OK, it tells me 1,100. I'll copy it all the way across here. Just copy it down. And let's just check it, make sure it makes sense. So we'll see here, August, 1,100. Let's see what happens the next August. There you'll see it jumps up. Lease 2, it's 1,500. Should increase in September. So you'll see there it increases in September. Now the next part of the exercise. Now we realize that what we're modeling is not a normal lease that is every month a collection, but it's student accommodation, and we know that month 12 and month 1 we empty. So I'm just going to create a separate row here where we specify whether the occupancy is 100% or 0%, and what we want is in month 12 and month 1 we need to have zeros here. So a way to do that is we can make use of the OR function. I'm going to go find the OR function. I'm going to tell Excel that if that cell is equal to that cell, or that cell is equal to that cell, I'm just going to put my dollar signs in. So this one can move left and right, but these need to stay still. So I'm just going to put dollar signs there and there. When I say OK, we'll get trues and falses. So you'll see it's false wherever we're in the rental month, true wherever we're not. We could now use this to determine which we collect from or not. So let's just first copy this everywhere. You can either do it in one formula, or I'm going to use this formula here. This row here, I'm going to say I want an if function. I'm going to tell Excel, look at that sheet, that cell, is it equal to false? Because if that is the case, then please put in 100%. If it's not the case, then it must be one of those months when we're vacant. So make it 0%. You'll see I've got a 1 and a zeros. Let's just copy that across. Okay, so you'll see ones and zeros. And now to work out what we actually need to collect, it's as simple as what is the rental amount in that month multiplied by whether we should collect it or not. Because I'm going to copy down, the first one can move up and down. The second one, though, must continue to look at that row, but it can move left and right. So I'm going to say, put a $sign here. And I can now copy this everywhere, paste it, and what you'll see is we now collect our rentals. December and January we don't collect, but it will still accurately calculate what the amount should be.